Okay, here is the new stove setup for elk camp or other long camping trips. This oven piece came just a couple days ago and I'm really excited about it. So I figured I'd take a little video on the theory of why do I need two stoves and what I'm gonna do with all of this. Really, the choice for me was either two of these 413 Colemans or one of the even larger 3-burner unit, the 426. I decided to go with two of these, one because then I get an extra burner. I get 4 burners instead of 3. And 2, if I'm ever going on a shorter trip, not elk camp or just someplace where I don't think I'm going to take the oven, I can leave my second stove at home. I don't have to take both of them or take the huge 3-burner. I can consolidate down to one stove. And then both of these stoves and the oven and the cast iron skillets and some other stuff fit into one of these Plano tubs from Home Depot. The 3-burner, the 426, is too long. It won't fit inside that box. So what's cool about this, there's a lot of things that are cool about this for me. The width of the stoves this way, sorry about the glare, the widths of the stoves this way is basically the same as a plastic folding table like you'd buy at Costco. So if you were to set this up on the end of a folding table, you'd have 3 sides that you could work around. As I said, these are Coleman 413s, so they are 22 inches wide, and there's 11 inches between the burners, center to center. So 12-inch cast iron skillets on these stoves is not a huge deal. But really, actually, if you cooked off the end of the table, you've got almost 16 inches between the burners, center to center. So if you don't mind reaching around to adjust your flame, I actually would prefer cooking off of this end. Then what also is cool, obviously I've taken the windscreens off, which on these 413Gs, it's very simple. They just have a little pin that pushes through these holes. So it takes about 10 seconds to take them off of each stove. And then with no windscreen, it's easy enough to just slide pots and pans back and forward just like you're cooking at home. That's the other thing, actually. Those Costco tables are 31 inches high. And since these stoves are just about 5 inches deep, you're at 36 inches. You're very close to the same height as cooking on your stove at home. Let's see, what else? The other thing, so this this oven is pretty old. This one sold in 1964. I was very lucky to find it in good condition. The new ones, the door swings like a refrigerator, swings open this way. I wanted one of these because the door swings down like an oven, and this space here at the bottom means I can actually have a cast iron pan right in the way, and I can still open the door and deal with my oven. So for me, that's a really cool thing. The other thing, the newer ones have the swing open door. I've seen videos where guys open the door, they go to put their muffin tin or their pizza pan or whatever in the oven, and the wind blows the door closed. Well, the whole thing is 300 or 400 degrees when it's running. So now they've burnt their wrist or burnt their forearm. That's no fun. And then for me, these old ones are made in the USA and the new ones are all made in China. So for me, that was a really cool thing to find. And then the other thing that's cool about these stoves is, like I say, they're about 5 inches deep. So when they were originally sold, they called them suitcase style stoves. Obviously the fuel tank, everybody knows, fits inside, but there's plenty of room to store other stuff inside too. So this is my kit for one stove. I'm going to put together a similar kit for the other one. I carry a 20-ounce fuel bottle. You could easily carry 2 of these in the stove. And actually, if you weren't going to carry some of this other stuff, you could probably carry 3 of these. For me, it sits under the grate right there. And then I know that you can put another one here under the grate. And I think you could probably put a third one on that side of the gas tube. I've also got an isobutane canister I'll talk about in a minute, a funnel just to refuel the fuel tank, a lighter because these old stoves don't have electronic ignition. I keep one of these silicone baking mats in each stove just so that I can lay it down underneath the stove and it keeps them from sliding around. They're a little bit sticky and that just makes it nice so they don't move on you. And then I keep a parts bag. So this guy, this brass piece, is a propane adapter that makes it so that you just pull the fuel tank off, right? And slide that propane adapter in. And now you can run the stove on propane. I also have this little silver adapter here. This is from Camping Moon. It came from Amazon. And that allows me to run an isobutane canister through a propane orifice. So for me, I like that idea because if there's a natural disaster or something else you might want to be prepared for, these stoves will obviously run on Coleman fuel. They will run on unleaded gas, although I'm told modern unleaded fuel with ethanol in it isn't a good idea. You don't want to do that. And then unleaded gas at all, whether it's got ethanol in it or not, you don't want to use an oven with that. But you can run kerosene in a pinch. And then with these adapters, you can run propane or isobutane. So I've got 5 fuel sources that I could run if there was an emergency. I've also got a couple of packages of pump leathers. These were from Amazon. It was a pack of 5 originally, and I think they were like $13 or $14. They don't have a brand name on them, but these are really good if you can find the 5-pack. I bought them at the same time. These are a little bit stiffer and maybe thicker leather, but these have a bigger outside diameter. So I ran one of these first, and if it lasts as long as a stock one does, I'll probably never have to replace it. If they wear out quickly, then I'll switch over and see what these are all about, but I don't expect that to be the case. And the other thing, it's not here yet, but I've got a pack of valve stem packing so that when this valve stem is packed with a piece of graphite and when it finally wears out, I'll have some replacements for that so it doesn't start leaking fuel. So with just those couple of spare parts, I mean, this was 13 or 14, these were probably 18, and the valve stems, you get 3 of them, I think, for $8 on eBay. Valve stem packing. So you're at what? Less than $50, and I'll be able to keep these stoves running for another 50 years or longer. Chances are, actually, I'll be dead and gone, and my kids will sell them in a garage sale. So that is my setup. Both stoves, like I say, fit inside that box with the cast iron. For me, this was a better situation than the 3-burner stove, although those are really cool, and if I find a good deal on one, I may end up with one of those too. So anyway, if you have any questions, just put them down below and I'll do my best to respond. Thanks.